going on out there, folks? Rooster here in Tennessee with another video. This is another Power Deluxe 35A, also known as a Palomar 500, Boomer 500, Superstar 500. There were several different names of them. Basically, I've done several videos on these. This one is exceptionally nice. It's a one owner. The guy that I bought it off of, or the guy that I received it on trade, he traded a bunch of items for a larger amp. He's the only person that's ever owned this thing. It does have the little peel up down here at the bottom left, but other than that, it's in really, really good shape. The back of it still has the stickers on it to indicate where to put your antenna and your radio. And I've always liked these amps. Like I said before, I think I've said on other videos, I ran one of these when I was like 12, 13, 14, 15 years old and talked all over the place on them. You can screw a radio into the front of them and run it off of there, but just keep in mind that you're pulling away from the power supply that the amp runs off of. The amp runs off the power supply that's built into this thing. There's not two separate supplies, one for the radio and then one for the amp. Both will be running off the one power supply. But these are really cool. Obviously, they run on 110. They're pretty compact, sit up on your desk, and they run quiet. And I've said 100 times, one of the toughest amps I've ever had. Just continuously put these things through a beating, and they don't quit. So anyway, we're going to get into the test of it here. I'll turn it off and just show you from the get-go, you know, what you do to turn it on and everything, and then we'll do a power test. I'm going to run this Galaxy 44 into it that I always use to test radios or to test amps with. It does about 35 watts peak. I wouldn't put any more than about 40 watts peak into this. Absolute tops, and probably about no more than 3.5 watts of dead key or carrier. When you turn it on, you hit this switch here, reset switch turns the fan on, then you're good to turn the amplifier on. Now you can run just the power supply if you want. Let's say the amp in this thing did take a dump on it. You could leave the amp off and you bypass it or whatever, and you don't have to put any coax in it or anything, and just run a small amp off the front of this. But we're going to turn the amp on. First thing we're going to do is show you the preamp works. I've got another radio on a dummy load that I'm going to key up without the preamp on. You got about 1 S unit. I'm going to come over here and turn the preamp on. Comes up just a little bit. Not a real strong preamp. Let's see if we can turn it off while we're keyed up. It's on. It's off. It's on. It's off. Really not strong at all. I've seen some better preamps than these things, but it does work. It's functioning. If it didn't work, it would either not do anything at all or it would knock the receive down some. But the preamp technically does work on it. It's just not a super effective one. Let's see what we're going to do here. We'll test it on bird average first for those that want to know what it does, bird average power. Again, this is average watts, not peak watts. Most people reference peak when they're talking about output power, but we'll just show what it does on high for the sake of people wanting to know. Let's turn that radio off. And we're looking at the middle scale. Audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. If we really yell into it, you can tell when I start talking louder, about 160 watts, but about 150 watts average is what this thing's doing. Let's hit the peak switch. Now this is a real Bird 43P, as always, same meter I always use. We'll test it on high, middle scale. Focus, you son of a gun. Hello, audio, 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 audio. About 435, 440 watts peak. On high, we'll go to low. Hello, audio, 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 audio. About 190. We'll go to medium. Hello, 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 hello. about 360. So 190 on low, 360 on medium, and about 440, 435 on a high. And you could put a little stronger radio into this and probably gain another 25 or 30 watts. Tops, I would say between 450 and 500. I don't think it'll quite reach 500 unless you overdrive it, but I would say 450 is definitely achievable on it. That's it, guys. I'm going to wrap the video up. There's a gentleman that's actually messaging me as I'm doing this video that's wanting to come down here and buy this thing. So it may be sold. If it doesn't sell, obviously I'll have it up for sale. And if you're interested in this item or anything else you see me post on here, please text me at 423-299-3535. And I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I know some of you guys messaged me on the Voyage 9000. And it sold like the day that I posted it. So a lot of times when I post stuff on here, it sells that day or within the next day. And then sometimes stuff I end up keeping for a couple weeks. Just depends on what it is. But I usually give it a shot on here before going to eBay with it. All right, guys, enjoy. And this is the Power Deluxe 35A, also known as the Palomar 500. You guys have a good day, and we'll catch you on the band. 73s.